people. Still strong, though he walks alone. Every star that I keep on meaning, every force that believes in dreaming. No matter where you come from today, your story can open the way. It's about the it's all over. It's about it's all over the world. Many stories, many lives, many flows. All I know of cause Uganda, changing lives across the border. One God, many stories. Your moment, your story. Speak your truth and take your chance. This could be a winning dance. One God, many stories, many lives, many glories. All I know of cause Uganda, changing lives across the border. One God, many stories. Your moment, your story. Speak your truth and take your chance. This could be a winning dance. It's about the God. It's more of who you are. It's about the God. It's more of who you are. Yeah, we're gonna start. Okay, man. I woke up in a good mood. I don't know why, but I'm feeling so good, like I want the whole mood. I'm not gonna put on a t-shirt today. Feel like a sweeter today. I make her smile, I make her laugh. I make her dance, I make her wine. If you feel like getting down to me, girl. Feel like touching down, dance to me, girl. I'll make you want me, make you want me. I'll make you smile, I'll make you feel nice. After that, I'll take you to my place where we will play. But before we play, feeling good. Jump. Feeling good. Feeling good. Jump. You and me, we rule the world. Me and you, we're gonna make them jump. We're gonna make them dance. Come on, jump. morning, my people. How you doing today? We talk the truth of just a brand new color. For the love of God, Uganda, we roll. From dusty road to dreams of patrol. Still we break it down, helping every drummer in the town. For the love, for the love, for the love of God, Uganda. Welcome to the road, where rubber meets the soul. For the love of God, Uganda. The story is right, all the new design we bright. Toyota, Nissan, there's so much that we break it down, no propaganda. Every papa's got a tale, village try to see the scale. We talk the truth of just a brand for car lovers across the land. For the love of cars, Uganda, we roll. From dusty road to dreams of patrol. Still we break it down, helping every drummer in the town. For love, for the love, for the love of God, Uganda. Pre-pass checks, we lead the way. Track your car, no games to play. Restore the past, drive into tomorrow. We bring the love, not just the horsepower. Is it a no or a TX5? We'll show you what's real, no just the hype. Scarlet views and engine rolls. We teach you more than just photos. We can do from the basics up. Trucking gear and car can stop. If you're new or it's on bed, for the love of cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Money, driving far. This is more than just machines. It's a love, the life, the dream. For the love of cause, Uganda, we roll. From dusty road to dreams of patrol. You still break it down, helping every door in the town. For the love, for the love, for the love of cause, Uganda. Good evening, good morning, my people. How are you doing today? I trust you're doing well. Yesterday, munansonyiwa byankutemu nebinkwatira ddala. I actually thought I would do the broadcast then again okulanga binkwatidde ddala nga biganye okugira. But how is your Monday morning? Look at that thing. That thing looks nice, yeah? That Land Cruiser there, it looks really nice. I love the SX. Nenga muli mutya? Ani ayagala ogula SX? Someone sent me a Prado SX at 14 million. And I 14 million shillings. Prado SX for someone that wanted to buy the SX. Also right now, the market is very funny. The car market is very funny. It's very hard for someone to find a car of 13, 14 million shillings right now. We are Toyota. And of course, now the question would be, yesterday I helped someone inspect a Nissan Note. And now the question is going to be, Arthur, I thought you don't encourage us to buy Nissans. How come you encourage this person to buy the Nissan Note? Under normal circumstances, you see their purchases that we are making these days. I can tell you that under normal circumstances, we would not be buying the cars we are buying under normal circumstances. And under normal circumstances, we would not be buying the cars we are buying at the prices we are buying them. There are cars that we are buying that are very expensive, and there are cars that we are buying which we would not have bought, like that Nissan Note. It was only one car that the gentleman had. He just wanted to confirm if it's in good condition. And now that car is a 1.2 liter. It's a 1.2 liter vehicle, 1,200 cc. But it performs like a 1.5 liter because it has a supercharger. Yeah.
and that's a good thing because then it consumes like a 1.3, yeah, while giving you the performance of while giving a performance of a 1.5. The only downside to that car is that it has a supercharger, and if not maintained properly, yeah, it could become actually a problem. But it had a very good engine though. Na ye twagisanze erabikanga gye baakakanikamu tebakanise mu engine but amafuta bade bakakola system ya mafuta. But you know, when someone is selling their car, they will not tell you exactly what they were fixing, but the engine was unopened, so it wasn't like they opened the engine or anything. It could have been coils or plugs, but they did do some work on the fuel system. And of course the gentleman then asked me, because he said the lady that was selling him the car was selling it at 13, and then he asked me, Arthur, how much do you think it's worth? And I told him, for what it's worth, I would never buy it. It's one car I would never buy. Yeah, it's scary to buy a Nissan. You see, for me, it's scary to buy any car that is not something that I know is reliable. Right? I know the trauma, the stress. I know the stress that comes with having a car that disturbs. I know the stress that comes with a car that you have to drive and you don't know if you get to your destination with it still running. Yesterday, someone called me as well. He bought a Mitsubishi Outlander, no inspection done, and he has been having trouble. He has been having trouble with the car, but he doesn't know what the trouble is. He drives for some distance and then it stops, and then brings an engine warning light. It brings a warning light, gearbox, and then he waits for it for 10 minutes and then drives on. Now, he has not gone to the garage at any one point. So he goes to a petrol station where they have a diagnosis machine or where they predict, and he says there's a time he went and they changed the CVT oil, and he did it again. So I told him you need to get somewhere where they have a diagnostic machine and they'll help you interpret the codes that come with it. You get nebwabira mu jamu bwalinya ku bule kyagenda okudda ku muliro ng'omuliro tukukyagala kola biguyina kola and stuff like that. Now, the trouble that comes with buying cars that are rare when you're not ready, and especially if you're buying those cars mostly because you're buying them mostly because it's the alternative that is there. For example, the Nissan Note. You know, oboyagala omuntu omugamba don't buy this car, naye nga bwakubuuza I don't buy that car, what should I buy? Toyina kyogenda mugamba nti we buy that, because at 13 million shillings, guys, I can't see a Toyota you can buy that good as that how that Nissan was. You get good number plate. Okay, it needed 2 tires, it needed a windscreen, one of the lamps was one of the headlamps was broken, so but even then overall the car was in shape. Suspension was good, one Z link was faulty, needs to be replaced, but even then finding a Toyota that is as good as that car at 13, yeah, it would have to be, they would have to be selling it because the person is dying in the next 30 minutes. The owner or the person that is fixing, or the person that is after them, is they believe that the sick person is dying in the next 30 minutes if they don't sell the car. So that would be the only way you buy a Toyota at 13 million is in the shape that Nissan Note was in. Of course, it was resprayed and one side was really bad, but still it was a good car. Now, we all know that Nissan CVTs are trash. At least we believe, at least we have been made to believe that Nissan CVTs are trash. But this was good, no errors at all. It did not slip, it did not have delay engaging gears, it shifted properly, which was a very good thing. It went up hills good, in a good way. which was a very good thing. Now, of course, then I had to recommend a price. So I recommended 10 million shillings. Why did I recommend 10 million? At the time that Nissan Note was bought, at the time when the UBK number plate was on, that car was about 15 million shillings to 17 in the bond. So that person has driven that car for about 6 years, 6 to 7 years. Yeah. Now, BJK, probably 6 years. Now, there is no reason why you're buying a Nissan that has been driven for 6 years with a broken windscreen, broken headlamp, what was the other thing? And some suspension work to be done at 13, yet you know the person that is selling it bought it at 17. Now, of course, what happens is that before someone sells the car, they'll go to the bond and figure out how much is the Nissan Note now. And then they say, and how much is the Vitz? How much is it? You get Kwegateri Toyota, Edimu UBK, Raktis, everybody for a Nissan Note right now, but Raktis, Edimu UBK, ya milioni nga 25. Okitegeera IST eri mu UBK ya milioni nga 25. Sienta eri mu UBK nga nnungi ya Sienta BK nga nnungi eri milioni nga 18 19. Vitz eri mu UBK nga nnungi ya milioni 17 18. Spacio BK milioni nga 19 Raum BK 18 I hope you guys get why the Nissan Note is normally something that someone wants to look at. And for you guys that are in the corporate world, you definitely want to buy something that is nice. For town driving, that Nissan would definitely be okay. Yeah, and even if the fuel problem that they fixed comes back, he might not know. But it had a catalytic converter error, which he will have to fix as well. You get. So did I recommend that he buys the Nissan Note? No. I told him I would never buy it, personally. For me, if there is one thing I believe, instead of buying a car like a Nissan Note, I'd rather keep my money. But it was a good car. It was a good car. It was a good car. Buy it though. I'd never buy it. I'd never buy it. But mwasuse mutya. And then there is someone that I've been with for 3 days in Atunonya Morok. Rakuba wenfuna inspection endala nga ndika nga ngenda njikola. Atubera nenga butunonye Moroka ye. If someone has a Wish new model you're selling at 25 million shillings, we are buying. Today, tugula nyo. If someone has a Toyota Nua in good condition at 27 or 28, we are buying now. Ate tugula nyo. Now, when did you guys ever think that someone can have 25 million shillings and they fail to get a good car? Ati no gwedao. Zichatu tu seko. I have a question. It's about what you studied at MUK. As someone who grew up watching the theater, what can we do to bring it back? Starch. I don't think theater has to be brought back by anyone. I think things happen. There is something that is called the Renaissance. Even in the UK, even in Europe, basically, they had that period when theater wasn't a thing anymore, and then it came back. You get. Normally theater disappears because of about two things. Thing number one is because of the competing entertainment avenues. And right now we have TikTok and YouTube, yeah? And then Netflix. So that's competition. And then film. When theater was a thing, people did not have TVs in their homes. And now what is even worse is that people don't even need TVs in their rooms, in their houses. Like everyone moves with the TV in their hand. We have Netflix, we have Apple TV, we have so many apps that you guys can use to watch stuff. So I find that, and I'm a graduate of drama, I'm really passionate about it, but I also understand that theater is for countries that are doing well off. Theater si yansi njavu nga Uganda, tuli baavu ng'ensi. We are poor as a country, and because we are poor as a country, we cannot manage theater. I've been to Europe. I've been to the National Theatre in Brussels. I've been to the National Theatre in Porto, Baita Porto. I've been to the National Theatre in Brazil. I've been to the National Theatre in London. Yeah. I've worked with orchestras, and I realized these people don't wait for ticket sales. There is a time I performed, and we had about 3 people in the audience. And every artist that performed that day was paid, including myself. And I was sleeping at a 5-star hotel. But they hadn't sold tickets. But their entire season was covered by sponsors. That's because the country is not poor. So Uganda is poor. It doesn't matter how good our artists are. It does not matter how creative our artists are. This is a period that Uganda as a country cannot afford theater. And things happen, you get. I'll give you another example. We have been doing plays for schools. And the only way we could break even, if you pay your actors like I do, the only way we could break even was if the students came to us. So we go to a theater, we invite schools, and the schools come to us. And then there was that accident of King David. And the Ministry of Education said for schools to move, they need to have a bus that has a CCTV camera, that has a tracking device, that has been inspected 24 hours prior. You get so many things. And yeah, so schools can't move anymore. And I'm one person that doesn't like to be on the wrong side of the law. And then before that, there was a scare of Ebola, that too. So I did lose some money there. And then one thing I realized is that now that is also dead. It's important for us to realize very soon that something is dead. That is also dead. Now the Ministry of Education killed that. And it's not that it has been dangerous. We have never had an incident where a school bus got an accident and students, we lost any student. That has never happened. But one incident like this that was sparked by a reckless director, who also died, by the way, has affected a lot. So we need to find another approach that works, and I'm working on that. So as a person that studied both theater and marketing, I know that Uganda cannot afford theater. When I was doing marketing at postgraduate, I was talking to one of the leading minds in marketing in Uganda, Jackie Namara, Pamita Jackie, I think. And she has been almost everywhere: Unilever, Airtel, Vodafone, so many big brands. Mukwano, you get, I think Stanbic, she knows her things. I was also taught by someone called Hannington Businje. He has also been around a lot. Marketing. I was taught by some of the biggest minds. And I always asked them, I was curious, how do you think you can make theater work in Uganda? Their answer was always the same: adjust with the times. Adjust with the times. Ugandans are broke people. They can't afford theater. You get? Right now, actually not just theater. I'll tell you that even music concerts are like that. Did you guys know that there are promoters? Good morning, Wiki. There are promoters who have one job: bring concert goers to concerts for free. They bring concert goers to concerts. So you, the owner of the concert, you pay. You pay these dudes to bring you people so that your concert doesn't look like it flopped. Even the biggest artists in this country do it. That's why we have sold out concerts every day. You guys saw that Reggie brought people from Barara, right? It's a thing now. So Uganda as a nation right now is poor. And people have failed to understand that Uganda is poor. We have to adjust with the times and wait until probably the government figures out a way to fix this, because the economy is the job of the government. So I think it takes time to make sense for most people, but for me, it made sense for me a long time ago. The only problem is recently I saw there was a meeting, I think it was in Parliament, where someone was proposing to regulate interior designers. What they want is that for you to be an interior designer, you have to have a license. Like, with all problems that we have as a country, someone wants to regulate interior designers. You get, so I find that until the government kind of figures out ways of empowering the citizens to a point where they can afford stuff, and it's very easy for people to think that because we have a lot of cars in traffic jam right now, people are doing okay. Most of these cars are on loan. Most of these people have paid 70% to own their cars. Most of these cars, you get. So Uganda as a country is a broke country. And you know, it's not just broke in terms of not having money. You'll find that there are Ugandans that have money, but what they don't have is the luxury of going to watch a theater play. They don't have the luxury of going to watch, you know, Ugandans work from, right now there are people that already opened their businesses. They opened at 7. Yeah, they opened at 7 a.m. They are going to close at 7 p.m. What time will they watch a theater play? So someone's going to get out of their shop very tired. They have to drive, go to the National Theatre and sit and watch a play for 2 hours. That's impossible. You get, so these days people think that people have more money than a long time ago, but people had money then. You know, it's one thing having money, and it's also another having money and you can sit and enjoy the money. So people don't have, the fact that people don't have the time to sit down and enjoy their money, you get it. You guys have seen that concerts of recent, ministers, MPs have to go to concerts. Do you know why? Because there has to be a sign that, you know what, the economy is doing okay. The economy is okay. So you'll find that it's mostly government people that are going to these places. People working in URA, Roads Authority, Ministry of Works. Go wetegereza abantu abera mu concert yezo. Okitegeera, because people, yes, even when people have money, they don't have the time. The money they have doesn't buy them time to go to a theater play. It doesn't buy them time to go to a concert. You'll find that people go to concerts of people they love. Like ngamwagala nnyo. That's why people are actually pushing the tribal card right now. Gwo muganda ogana otyo okuwagira muganda muno mu concert. Gwo munyankole genda wagire munyankole muno mu concert. Because that's the only way you can push people to go and support. I think because Katikiro successfully collected a tofali and built Masiro, built Masengere, built a lot of things out of that money. So we have realized that people actually, when people are pushed tribal, they can actually collect. Because now they are not collecting for themselves, they are collecting for the greater good. So when people go to concerts right now, they are going to those concerts for the greater good. They are not going because they want. You get? So now, where we are as a country, people only go to places where problems are solved. That's why they go to churches without fail. Yeah. That's why they go to conferences, motivational speech conferences, because they're trying to make their life better. Entertainment, they have entertainment in their hands. So the only way you would actually grab the attention of people is by putting their entertainment in their hands. That's why TikTok is booming. That's why influencers are a thing right now. Yeah, so start your the system ngabo hedi Uganda tuli bavu ngensi. We can't afford theater wabagagga baba. If you went to countries where theater, ballet, basically where cultural activities are booming, it's because countries are well off. Abagagga je bali batekayo sente, omugagga atekayo emitwalo 3 ejja $1 buli mwaka n'agaba supporting a theater and stuff like that. So anyway guys, I hope you guys are okay. I hope my explanation has not annoyed anyone. Omanyi nakutambulira ku magiraasi nzo okwogera akantu katono nnyo omuntu n'anyiga ne bakunona. That's why you get the board. And that's also a problem. In Bahrain, we've got a national theatre. It's a state of the art. You can imagine that Steve Harvey came here and I wanted to book a ticket. Nainga what you do. People are rich. People have money. People have money. The reason why people like Alex Mukulu have died poor, because Alex Mukulu died a poor man. Byonna byenda abantu nga bawoza Alex Mukulu abadde alina ssente tabadde mwavu. Alex Mukulu abadde mwavu. You see, Alex Mukulu ekyobugaga kyabadde nakyo nnyumba. Oyo abadde mwavu. Okitegeera ate talinawo ttooka ate nga n'ennyumba gy'alina naye eriko ebbanja ddene. Of course ennyumba ye eri worth more than that. Naye era abadde muki. And the reason why, one of the reasons you saw the woman said, yafa abanja. Oba sente zajja bubi. Sente bwe zijja obubi n'alwawo okusasula amabanja ge. Ne yesanga ebbanja lyali badde lya $3 million lifuuse $4 things like that. And you know, people like Alex Mukulu were able to even make the little money they made to buy houses like that in the past because the country was rich. Right now we have cars, but we are poor, bro. We are poor. We are poor. Chikamure chicho, Chris Fitness kamure gye wali ngamba yiyo. Naye nze ndabikira bubi. Simon Baker kyoyogera kituufu. Even the rich will sink. I'm worried. Me, I'm worried. Very worried, by the way. But tulina kyakola. One thing I started teaching myself a couple of years ago is that if I can't change something, I let it be. You get? I let it be. The economy is bad, bro. The economy is bad. The economy is bad to the point that every rich person bwafanga ebintu babitwala. Every rich person ngambayo omugagga omwe Kampala in the last 10 years nga bwabadde afa ebyo obugagga tebabitwala okujjako Kyabaggu. Do you guys know Kyabaggu? The guy that owned Bukoda Chemicals, the guy that owned St. Joseph of Nazareth High School, ye mugagga yekate naye teyali mugagga bali abagagga abavundu. Kati abagagga betumanyi nga abavundu nga ba BMK bani buli mugagga oyo bwafanga ebintu babitwala. Kitikiza ebintu abadde ayina ebintu naye nga si bibye. Anyway guys, kansugire weekend yabadde nnungi. Weekend teyabadde mbi nnyo. Teyabadde mbi nnyo. But I'm there. Mukiri comfortable. Start okyagala bwagazi. You just like the car. But well, at least we have good roads, guys. We should have something nice to talk about. We have nice roads, yeah, nice buildings, yeah. So be positive, guys. Be positive. Yeah, the governments in developed countries invest a lot. Here, the government doesn't invest anything. well, they say they invest, but they'll give money to individuals. Like bayinza okujja baja Arthur ne bamuwa million 5 naye n'atereza family ye. That's how it has always been. Those big guns, bonna bwe bakwata ku ssente. I think abantu abakulu bonna balina kufa baveewo bonna, ate si mu bubi, balina kufa bonna abantu abakulu bemulaba bali influential mu industry zonna ezeeyiwa balina kufa. Afa ne bagwa Kyagulanyize siri wa opposition. Siri wa opposition. Katubiveeko ebyo kale bannange ntuse newe ngendo beera ne meeting yange. Guys, I'd like to remind you that 5th September we're going to be at the Love for Cars convention. Mujje tunyumye eby'emmotoka byokka. Ebiseera bwe tubeera ku live, it's very hard for me to ignore stuff because binkwatako ng'omuntu ali patriotic, but I also understand that the definition of patriotism changed. The definition of patriotism changed. Wala abasajja bavuga emmotoka zaffe bayingira amakubo pakingewa agala parkinga wala. Kanzije Chris nsome comment you, it looks interesting. But the scene ateeka wano nno mulowooza and the white All right, guys, let me read Chris's comment here. Let me comment here, Chris. One. Someone would argue that if the economy is bad for theaters to thrive again, why are so many other events succeeding? Big clubs are ever full. King Saha recently had 10K. Chris Fitness, let me explain this to you. Have you heard of something called money laundering? Chris, I'm sure you've heard of something called money laundering, right? Money laundering is a practice where Chris Fitness money laundering and King Saha had 10K attendees. Did you guys also hear that King Saha yatuuka n'asalako ku tiketi bwe yakirireyo wansi n'azisalako? Do you guys know that every concert has tickets they give away for free? Wambadde temukimanyi. Kati, let's just imagine that there are events that don't actually don't give away free tickets. Yes, that happens. But have you guys noticed that bars in Uganda are set up like they have something to achieve? Like they are there for like a year and they close. Nga bamaze okwachivinga kibali bagala okwachivinga. Okitegeera. Have you also guys realized that all bars almost have the same people drinking at the same bars Monday to Friday? The people that drink at the same bars Monday to Friday never run out of money. Waliwo ebintu ebimu ebirabika Chris Fitness naye nga munnange biba bizibu bya kunnyonnyola, tolina bw'otandika kukinnyonnyola mu muntu nti Arthur ye Monday to Friday buli lunaku agenda n'anywa miliyoni y'essente. Katolina bw'okinnyonnyola mu muntu nti mwaka kuva 2020 Arthur abadde Monday to Friday buli lunaku anywa akakadde anywe miliyoni 3 yazijjawa. Era tolina bw'onnyonnyola muntu nti Arthur yaggulawo ebbaala omwaka oguwedde n'egwa n'agenda naggulawo ebbaala ewalala. Otegeera ng'eri egudde. Okitegeera. And then I would ask you a question, Chris Fitness. If you went to, for example, There is something, olaba last year, convention, I told you this. My editor came to me na ngamba Arthur. Unoba tutunze tiketi ku bantu kujjaye. Nino muyaye wange. Tujja muwaye emitwalo 2. Anti ngagamba. People balinze convention ereme kufuna attendees oswale. Kati obutaswala. Waliwo omuyaye wange tumuwaye emitwalo 2. Nakuletera costa y'abantu. Boto ila kyoba wabbo bajja buzzi. Ne babeerawo ne bakuba ebifaananyi ne banyumirwa olunaku ne bagenda. Nangamba ekyo bakikola. At that time, if you guys go back in time, during the same time of the convention, there was a concert of a big artist that had just been concluded. Munene bamusombera abantu. You get it? Kati waliwo ebyama ebirimu ebibeera mu industry olumbye mutamanya. Waliwo ebyama ebibeera mu industry bye mutamanya. Era Chris, the other thing that happens is that most artists, they make money from sponsorship, not from ticket sales. Sponsors will sponsor you only when you have people. So if you have people this time, next time the sponsors will come because you proved last time I had this number of people. So, but one way of course in industry. Industry yamanyeka. I was watching John Segal. He said, partly, you the theater guys have also failed to move with the times. Steady, Chris, Johnny, I respect him highly. And I respect him highly. Yeah, I take it at times Jeziraga, you're moving another wa. On tegere, if for example, Nzenga Arthur, Manyinti, wane Kampala kati abantu bakyala ba theater bagira bambarara. Ngammanyi, I will go to Mbarara, right? Did he go to Mbarara? And as he made it, he tried. Yagezako is one of those creative guys that could make things move. He tried and things failed. He's also a theater person. It will actually not contradict that a certain group of people, but rather all of us get equal opportunity. Cleaning money is a clear term. That's David Klaje. Chris Fitton, what impact did the concert had on the common man? What would the Gen Z come to see in a theater? Have you moved with this new generation of young fans? The Gen Z don't want to come to the theater. Chris Fitness, even in Europe, Gen Zs don't go to theater. Nze nakola, I worked with the London Symphony Orchestra. I worked with the Oslo Symphony Orchestra. In Europe, I work with some of those big schools. What you call the Gen Z schools would come in buses. Schools are brought in buses to the theater. It's a school program. That's the Gen Z. University students are brought in buses. By university students, the Gen Zs, Gen Z, theater, classical music concerts, babisoma. Obanga yakulira mu family nga tata we ne mama we bamutwalayo n'amanyira nti it's a good thing, the cultured ones, and the very few. Nekakati there are Gen Zs that will watch theater. And theater, you guys have watched Hamilton, right? One of the most successful shows. Hamilton was very, very successful. It was a musical. It was a musical. And netambula ndi bagiddamu ne bagikolamu ne mu Germany ne bakolamu no Germany okitegeera. How many shows that are equivalent to Hamilton do you know? Kati awo tuli mu America. How many? How many do you know? Kati, moving with the times is one thing, but also understanding that there is a certain generation of kids that are interested in other things. The generation that would watch theater and enjoy it is stressed. They are looking for money. They are looking for money. Kati, generation erina okulaba abantu abasinga okulaba theatre bantu nga bagenda ne basoma literature okitegeera and kati ate abasoma literature kati if you go to, for example, to the National Theatre, we have seen musicals, because if you say move with the times, it means give them productions that will wow them, something like Cantanta at Watoto. But Cantanta, one of the reasons Cantanta is successful is because it has an affiliation. People don't go to Cantanta simply to watch a show. They go to Cantanta because it's a Christmas show, it's produced by church, and also producing Cantanta is expensive. Producing a production of that caliber is one of, and for you to actually say you've done something that is close to that, you need the kind of money that is invested in Cantanta. You need the kind of venue like the venue Cantanta has. That's why you don't find them doing Cantanta at the National Theatre. The National Theatre doesn't give them the venue to do Cantanta. But also Cantanta is once a year. That event is once a year. In April, I was at the National Theatre for the premiere of a play by Franak Productions. Tell us, Mojovan, how did that go? That place was so empty. It was, and it wasn't empty because their production probably was bad. It was empty because people don't have the time to go there. Theater requires people to think. Some of the jokes in theater, some of the jokes in a theater play will need you to think to actually understand why it's funny. You have to think. Classical music, it requires someone to have peace. Omuntu abera mu classical concert najinyumirwa najitekinga ina ino kubaba nga tali bana Uganda bali stressed. Bana Uganda bali stressed. Like we have reached a point where people have shows and they have to go through their friends and family to blackmail them to come and watch it. We have reached a point where even the big artists themselves have to blackmail the young people they have in their groups. They blackmail the young people in their groups to go invite their parents, their sisters, their friends to buy tickets so that the theater is full, and it never even gets full even then. But very stressed. But still, I'm a theater person, and I think I did one show at the National Theatre. It was good. It wasn't a full house, but it was good. And that's the last time I did it. I lost money. I lost a lot of money. And that's the last time I did it. But it was nice. It was a very good experience. So the Gen Z want things in their phone. We have to move with the time. So give them. That's why you have a lot of performers having TikTok accounts and YouTube channels, and putting work there. People have to have money starch, or the government has to put money in the theater so that the theaters subsidize the fees. It's as clear as that. It's as clear as that. Government etekeyo sente abantu bagule ticketing za raisiko. Kati nga ajigula kuba ya raisi. Nagenda nalaba, and then probably then they'll enjoy. Okitegeera. Anyways, ba movie premieres. If you look at movie premieres, most of the movie premieres that are happening in the country, olaba nga ba Uganda na ba mikwano bebajjuza gundi, those cinemas okulaba film za so and you know, it's very easy for everyone to be blaming another person. Me, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying that probably the crop of the artists abasajja abakulu n'abakazi abakulu balina kufa baveewo, because bo sente bazifuna. I know for a fact, mbimanyi nti sente bagenda mu government ne bafuna, naafuna y'ebibiri, mune naafuna ebisatu, oli naafuna ebitaano, naye bwe bazifuna balyandye. They don't do anything. Balyandye. The theater needs investment, and the government needs to invest, but our government doesn't invest in industries. Our government invests in individuals. and that's a bad thing. Muyombia Max, that's David Clergy, Bugisu Times, Adinaito Jose, Chambari Hannington, VIP, Juma Ali, Jones Info, Maseko Association Limited, Jeza Hillary, Francis Kalima, Mwanguzi David, Simon Baker, Julien Nampija, Aishuka Blair VIP, Simon Baker, Yiga Fahim VIP, Kepi Ham, Simon Baker, Makai Jovan, Yiga Chiria Moses, President Antonio, Chris Fitness Luburwa, Lawrence Omule, Karim UG, Julia Sengoba, Paul Sema VIP, Hash Fitness UG, King Daniel VIP, Starch Events, Kaketo Muhammad, Chiobio Alex, Lucky Mose, Joshua Sise, Maumbe Dennis, Pakamp, Henry Modern Juice, Buyenga Ivan, Wiki Chikawa VIP, Yusuf Lugonda, Odong Pini, Ivan, Sibamaze Chagulanyi Ronald, K Jovan VIP, Bugiso Times, Mbamazeyo. After I think you had moved with the times, taking the theater to schools instead of inviting them. It's you, that's David Clergy. Or for me to take a play to the schools, I can't break even. The schools have to come to me, and they come bajenga banji. If you take the schools to the theater, as a business person, it doesn't make sense. Chinabagambye, nti government investing in industries. Ochitegera. Government, olaba n'abazungu abajja wano. There is a guy from the UK that we have collaborated with the Canadian, and they got money from their government, and they came to work with us. Right? So the government has to invest in industries. Nze okujjako abantu bemanya batasasula ba actors. Me, I pay my actors. Mubagai phone hold and more that every mkamba sibule. It's a tricky one. There is a lot of division in today's society. Getting people back there has to involve government, more so in promoting talent. Yes, I now agree that theater is really dying in Uganda. Our population is increasingly dominated by young people, many of whom are under 25. The theater industry fails to attract this. We don't have to attract them. This is a topic called Arthur. I have a question. Will the convention be broadcasted? Like, no, it won't be. And do we have Nissan special? Yes, we have a Nissan specialist on the panel. Young generation, then over the next 10 years, it could face a serious audience crisis because there won't be enough new customers to replace the current generation theater goers. We don't even have theater goers right now. But Arthur, the truth is, ebizibu byonna Uganda tumanyi. Ebizibu tumanyi gye biva naye twebuzabuza Mukama abakuumi.